Ari, Ashton Jeanty had what I guess we can consider a down game. I'm using air quotes there. With 128 rushing yards and a touchdown in a win against UNLV. Now he's going against San Diego State. Do we think the numbers go back to otherworldly level?
Did UNLV teach people how to defend him, or is UNLV just better?
I think UNLV is better. I think UNLV has, obviously Barry Odom is a very good defensive mind, but I think UNLV also has very good players on defense. And I'm not sure the rest of the Mountain West can do that.
Yeah. So I actually was very amused this week, Andy, by the discourse of like Ashton Jeanty's Heisman odds, and the discussion of him has gone down after the UNLV game. It's still high, but there have been people who have been negging his resume because he only rushed for
I think it's because Travis
yards.
Hunter came back and was good. I think that was part of it.
Yeah, but regardless of what the reason is, like, why are we looking at the UNLV game as like a quasi bad game? Like, if your standard is rushing for 210 yards every week, then that makes the point that you should probably be in New York, right? Yeah. And I was very, like, I feel like I don't know, you agree with me, right? But I feel like I'm on an island feeling that the game that he had against UNLV was a really impressive performance. Like, not only did he rush for 128 yards and score a touchdown, he broke a ton of tackles and basically iced the game away with 8 minutes left, touched the ball 9 out of the 12 plays they ran or something like that on their final drive. So UNLV didn't touch the ball. Like, what else do people want from this man? Like, rushing for 200 yards isn't supposed to be a normal thing.
Yeah, UNLV was loading the box. Maddox Madsen made some throws, but he only averaged like 6.5 yards per attempt in that game. It wasn't like they were taking advantage of the loaded box to throw. Like, they were barely getting by, and then Ashton Jeanty getting very tough yards. So now he goes against the San Diego State team that actually has been fairly stingy against the run this year. They give up 4 yards a carry, but in some games it's been significantly below that. Like their last game against Washington State, it was 2.9 yards a carry. But I will say, you look back to that Cal game, Javian Thomas, who's been a very good running back for Cal all season, he averaged 10 yards a carry against them. So Javian Thomas is a good running back. Ashton Jeanty is a great running back. Let's look at this through the lens of our friends at Prize Picks. And they had a little surprise for us this week with the Ashton Jeanty square. So Prize Picks, you download that app, best fantasy game in America, play $5, get $50 instantly with the code STAPLES if you're a new user. The Ashton Jeanty square, yeah, he's got the Michael Myers mask on for Halloween, because if you've watched Ashton Jeanty play, it is very creepy. He stands like Michael Myers when he's waiting for the play to start. Most running backs kind of have their hands on their thighs or on their knees. He stands like Michael Myers waiting to kill someone.
It's creepy, and it's actually very appropriate for the season because, you know, to go on with this pun, Andy, he really is murdering people. So, like, you know,
yes.
I mean,
so our square for the
great.
Our rushing yard square for the San Diego State game, 184.5. You decide if he's going to run for more than that or less than that. Obviously, last week, he was less than his square in the UNLV game, which was over 193. It was 190. It was 185.5. That's what it was. It was a lot of yards. And so he was under that. But 3 of the last 4 games, he has had more than the total that we're talking about here, this 184.5. So I think he's back to what we were used to seeing before that. I think, you know, San Diego State obviously is going to try to load the box, but I'm not sure their defense is as good as UNLV's. I think Ashton Jeanty goes off.
Yeah, and the thing that makes me feel comfortable about this, because I'm on the side with you, is that even though UNLV was stacking the box and selling out to defend him on Friday night, he still carried the ball 33 times. Like, Boise is not going to get away from running him. And that is encouraging, because sometimes coaches will, you know, adjust the offensive game plan to take what the defense is giving and not force how they want to play. And Boise is going to win and lose on this guy's back. And considering how good he is at breaking tackles, and, you know, how when you're playing less sound teams in UNLV, a broken tackle will often mean a 70-yard run, I'm very comfortable anticipating that he's going to rush for more than 184.5 in this game.
And I'm also just excited to see what he does for the rest of the season, because what he was doing prior to the UNLV game was something that we've never seen before. He's taking aim at Barry Sanders' single season rushing record and possibly doing it in about 80 or 90 fewer carries than Barry Sanders did it. So, you can say, oh, Barry Sanders played in fewer games. Yeah, but that was the era when a workhorse back got 30 plus carries every game. Ashton Jeanty, if he's doing it the way he usually does it, is only going to get about 22 carries. So that's where...
Yeah, because usually it's an 80-yard rush, and it takes away the 7 carries he would have had on that drive.
Exactly. So I'm excited to see it. Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time on FS1, Ashton Jeanty and the Boise State Broncos taking on San Diego State. We'll see. I hope he does the tunnel walk in the Michael Myers mask, like Myles Garrett did with the Terminator costume. Like, how awesome would that be?
I mean, it would be cool if they made him warm-ups that was just like a blue suit that, like a worker suit that he would wear. Like, and just he comes out with the mask.
Like Michael Myers wore when he broke out of the facility.
Because this was a thing before. This was a thing before Halloween. Like, he was standing. Like, people were making this joke a month ago. The way he stands. In the
I do appreciate
just like it.
I appreciate Prize Picks leaning into it. So if you want to have some fun, hit that Michael Myers / Ashton Jeanty square this week on Prize Picks.